So we learned today what is known as heights and distance. Probably, according to me, the most interesting part, even more interesting than bearings, heights and distances. And this is, I think, you have a calculator exercise, so should not be an issue. So let's have some very common, interesting observations first of all. Okay, it's brown. It's brown. Okay, brown. So let's say, let us say that you have something which is called, this is say ground level. Okay, this is ground level. Have you understood? Okay, and on this ground, ये basic पहले समझिए, उसके बाद बाकी समझेंगे. On this ground, we have a small, say a raised platform. Fine. And on this platform, we have our friend, one of our friend has to be here. So government says beti bachao beti padhao, so girl only, no boy. Observer. Okay, this is our observer. और ये side में, on the other side, I don't know whether this color is visible. Is this visible, Ahiri? Not.
No, sir.
Yes. How can you draw like that, sir? Nice. Okay. Is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. And on this, say this is a tree. I love drawing. You have a tree. और इस ट्री में क्या करें? यहाँ पे एक सुंदर सा पक्षी बिठा देते. ऐसे एक पक्षी. Okay, and Kirtan will be happy. So some mangoes are also there on the tree for him to eat. Okay. Now, whatever we see is called line of sight. Okay, जो भी हम देखते हैं. Now, whether your book teaches it this way or not, you don't worry. So let's say that from the eye contact of this girl, everything that is seen straight, change the color. Okay, everything that this girl is seeing straight. Everything that this girl sees straight, parallel to the horizontal. So this I will call as my line of sight. What do I call it? The line of sight. Sight matlab vision. The line of sight. Understood? Straight with the horizontal. If this girl is trying to look anything that is at a height for her, then her mundi becomes how? Like this. You understand? So there is to be a joke like this. There's to say that, you know, this is male chauvinist joke again. Like, whenever you marry, you should marry somebody who is taller than you in height. Male chauvinist, you know, male chauvinist means males who have, you know the word chauvinism? Right? Male chauvinist means somebody who has that male ego with him. मैं क्यों घर का काम करूं? नहीं, ये काम मेरा नहीं है, वो तुम्हारा है. So there's a joke out here. So your partner, if you're a male chauvinist, should be taller than you, so that when you talk to her, you'll always put your head up and talk. And when she talks to you, she looks down and talk. So this is called the male chauvinism idea. So ये इस इधर में बड़ा काम में आएगा. So if you're looking at this bird, so how do you look at the bird? You'll be putting your head upwards. Okay. So she sees something in this manner. Clear? गर्दन टेढ़ा हो जाता है. Cinema hall में जो आगे बैठ के movie देखते हैं ना, we used to call it Gandhi class. Then you have to come back home and put iodex on your neck, because whole day you'll watch the movie like this, Salman Khan dancing in this way. So this angle theta will be called my angle of elevation. What do we call it? Angle of elevation. What does elevation mean? Say suppose you are standing in front of titanium tower and you look at the tower like this. How do we look at the tower? Wow, such a big. We see the entire facade. That is always called the elevation. Elevation of a building means the front view. If you're seeing my this panel, then you're seeing the elevation. If you're seeing it right from top, then you only see a slender rectangle, the top portion rectangle of it. That is called the plan view, top view. Okay. Similarly, this girl can also see right at the root. Okay, when she's trying to look at the root of the tree, then what is her vision? Her vision is going below her horizontal line of sight. She looks like this. समझ में आया? इसको और नीचे देखने को हम जनरली क्या बोलते हैं? Don't get so low in your life. Don't be so depressed. तो इसका नाम होता है एंगल ऑफ डिप्रेशन. क्या बोलेंगे इसे? एंगल ऑफ डिप्रेशन. ये दो पहले क्लियर कीजिए. Let's say this is alpha. So alpha will be known as angle of depression. So in these problems, whenever you are looking at a tower or something, it will always be angle of elevation. Whenever you're looking down on something, it is always known as angle of depression. We'll do problems later. First, let us discuss these things. Then automatically things will become interesting for you. Is this part clear? Okay. So when we actually do problems, we are not going to make such trees and all, but we are doing what? We are doing end of the day trigonometry. Trigonometry means हमको ultimately ये सारा कहानी में right angle triangle दिखना चाहिए. That is the bottom line of the story. Right angle triangle तो है. What are the right angle triangles? Let us see. Sorry. Okay. So this. Okay. And so make everything out here like this. And I start doing some naming out here now. So let's say this is A, this is B. Then I can say C also. AC is the height of the girl. CB is the height of the tower or the platform. Then I can name this as say Q. I can name this as P. I can name this as R. So height of the tree is how much? RQ. समझ में आया? लेकिन अगर आप अच्छी तरह देखो, then I will say I am having some right angled triangles. What are my right angle triangles? I have a right angle triangle ABQ. Do you agree or not? Okay, what next, Kirtan? We have a triangle, Kirtan is saying RQB. Let me also cross check. RQ. No, RPA. R, then Q. That's theta. Anyways, this way, no. When you're naming, let me correct you. When you name a triangle, the right angle should come in between. So this is RPA. So we read this as RPA. Okay. Do you see some more triangles also? Okay. We see a APQ also. APQ. Any other triangle? Bacha? Which one? Parallel to the bird's eye on this side. But we don't need it. See, end of the day, our interest will be height of the girl, height of the slab, height of the tree. Chapter kya hai? Heights and distance. How far the girl is from the foot of the tree. Chapter is what? Heights and distance. So just see whether you have covered all heights. We have covered all heights out here. Right? In such problems, you will always see there is a huge usage of tan ratio. Tan बहुत काम का चीज है. अब देखो डिप्रेशन वाले केस में. Now just observe. Angle of elevation is very easy. ऐसे हो गया. Angle of depression हमने कितना बनाया? Alpha. Don't you think this angle will also be alpha? Alternate interior angle?
Okay.
Right. So angle of elevation, angle of depression. Did you get it? So if I now take this triangle ABQ, अगर हम ABQ triangle को ले, तो जरा देखिए तो, if you take tan of alpha, it is opposite side by adjacent side. We can write AB by BQ. And these values will be given to you. A girl looks at a sparrow with an angle of elevation 30 degree, or she looks down on the roots with an angle of depression 40 degree. These measurements will be given. So ये ratio समझ में आया. If you take this ratio, you should be able to find out some values. Again, if you take, say, from this side, tan of theta लेके देखो तो क्या दिखता है? Tan theta. Tan of theta gives you what? Tan of theta will give you only this much by this much. But इसका कोई use नहीं है. इस problem में this much has no use. So maybe tan theta in this problem may not be useful for us. Are you getting it? This is the brief idea of heights and distance. Every problem that you get, you first have to have drawing skills. I'm not asking you to draw all these what you call trees and birds and all, but you should be able to find out where is the person. In your drawing, the person will be a straight line, looks at an angle of inclination, looks at an angle of depression. ऐसा केस समझ में आ रहा है? ये एक केस है. अब कुछ केसेस की बात करते हैं, कैसे इंटरेस्टिंग केसेस. Is this understood? How you can, and then you use ratios and solve the problem. Then these were used by Greeks in war days, where they used to say a ship is coming, a ship is approaching a fort. Have you seen all those Greek movies? If you see, then they used to attack with ships. The entire fleet is coming. So they could plot the angle of that ship at that time. They will have a particular angle of depression. As the ship comes near and near, what happens to the angle of depression? Increases. And as you are coming near and near to a wall, a man walks towards a building. Initially, his angle of elevation is how much? Say 30 degree. He walks at a speed of v meters per second. After 10 minutes, he will have a new angle of elevation. Will it be 30? No, more than 30. जितना पास जाएंगे और ऐसे देखेंगे ना हम. Common sense apply करना है. Do you get it? So we will have some problems in velocity, and then we'll say what is the speed at which it is approaching, by what time will it approach. All those can be managed. The first and the foremost thing where children flunk in this chapter is their inability to draw. And again, I'm just putting myself in inverted commas, pardon me. This current generation's general tendency, whether you're in CBSE, IB, ICC or whatever, to draw is very less. Everybody goes to a drawing school, by the way, huh? When they're child. Where are you going? I'm going for my drawing school. But drawing की आदत नहीं है. हमारे टाइम पे छोटा वाला क्रेयॉन का एक बॉक्स मिलता था. And the ones who used to go to drawing class, they used to have that Camel 56 shades. But ये चाहिए होगा. अगर ये नहीं है, ये गलत, entire problem गलत. कुछ और cases देखते हैं. Interesting cases. Let's see one more case. Okay. A typical problem which comes a lot in CBSE and all is something like this. So you should always have your ground level. They'll say, on a stormy night, a tree broke midway and fell on the ground. Okay, so देखो वो story, if you try to draw and see how it should be. Let's say this is my tree, the normal tree. So all that is interesting for you would be only the center line of the tree. This is the center line of the tree. On a stormy night, the tree broke and fell halfway. और कहीं भी break कर गया. So we have to break the tree. Let's break the tree now. And the tree, after breaking, will actually fall like this. And the tree has fallen. Right? What is for interest for you? Your interest will be this particular axis. The tree falls, making an angle. They'll give you an angle measure, saying making an angle alpha with the horizontal of the ground. So what is interesting out here? The hypotenuse, they'll say what is the height of the original tree, and the tree broke somewhere at 4 meters. They'll tell you, means this height they will give you. Say this is h1. What is the original height of the tree? The original height of the tree will be h1 is the measurement from where to where, bacha? From here to here. So you also need something called h2. क्या यही चीज h2 नहीं है? टूट गया तो ये सब आपको सोचना पड़ेगा. तो ऊपर क्या देखता है? डायग्राम इधर ड्रॉ किया हुआ है, ऊपर देख रहा है. ट्री सपने में आएगा क्या? I am making the diagram, you look here. What is it to look up? This is not a diagram that your teacher drew and you're trying to recall. The tree broke midway. Asmita, are you able to understand? The tree broke midway. So whatever is the hypotenuse is actually the portion that was the unified part of the tree. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Another type of question. Same on these type. A man sitting on the top of a cliff. The cliff के ऊपर बैठा हुआ है. नहीं तो standing हो गया ना. So we have to make a man sitting. So a man sitting on the top of a cliff. This is a cliff. Okay. And we have got what? We have got a lake and say water out here. हमारे यहाँ पे water है. So water बना लेते हैं. तो यहाँ से मान लीजिए सब पानी है. Everything is water. Fine. Observes a patch of cloud in the sky. Observes a patch of cloud in the sky. So let's go ahead with our diagram. So man's one is this. The angle of elevation would be the patch of cloud. Agreed? And he observes with an angle of elevation. Let's say this angle is given as some theta. In the next statement, they say he observes the reflection of the patch of that particular cloud with the angle of depression, say beta. अच्छा अभी मुझे ये बताओ क्लाउड का डिप्रेशन इमेज कहां पे दिखे? He watches the image. This is water. Where should be the cloud's image? There is where you have gone wrong. The surface of the water here is behaving like a plane mirror. Plane mirror's characteristic is object distance is equal to image distance. हाँ, नीचे जाएगा. आपको इमेज ऊपर इमेज. What is the rule of a plane mirror? आप सुबह जो ऐसे कंघी करते हो, that groove is on the mirror और उतना ही पीछे नहीं है क्या? Now also he will not agree. अरे ढक्कन अपना नाक को खुद पकड़ेगा तो सामने नहीं जाएगा मिरर के. Then plane mirror characteristics have you not studied in Cambridge? You studied 6 या 7 में था. What is the characteristic of a plane mirror image? A plane mirror's image is erect, virtual. Object distance is equal to image distance. The amount you are in front of a mirror, your image is formed same, and it is laterally inverted. Means if you are wearing a normal Indian sari, you see a Gujarati lady on the other side. Do you know what is lateral inversion? The pocket appears on this side, na? The image is flipped. Come on, yaar, selfie ulfi to sune ho na. A selfie is always a flip selfie. So that's called laterally inverted. That's the reason you write ambulance ulta. Why do you write ambulance ulta? So that when the ambulance is coming behind you, on your mirror, you will see Seedha ambulance. Oh, life skills. Have you seen ambulance is always written ulta? Why? Because when the ambulance is behind you, its image on your mirror will always be Seedha ambulance. It's laterally inverted. What would you call it? Laterally inverted. That's why